Good morning. Happy Friday. It's time to get real. Um, Today I am answering a question, the question we all want to know. What should you eat? What should you eat? What should you eat to lose weight? And we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But first I want to tell you something. When you are looking for your purpose, when you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, we talk about our goal or our why, like why we want to do what it is that we want to do, what our purpose is in life, what this real life that it is that we're after. Um, when you are trying to figure out your purpose, look for clues, okay? And especially once you think you have it figured out, look for clues that you are headed in the right direction. The universe gives you clues. And so, just when I think, oh, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here with this real life with Don Lefevre. I don't know. I don't know if this is helping people. I don't know if people are watching. I don't know what people want, what people don't want, what people like, what people don't like, why people like it sometimes and then unlike it sometimes. Why I get all these followers and then I have four people drop off. What the heck? I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the right track. Well, just yesterday. I got two clues that I was doing the right thing. First, I got a message from a friend. She texted me, and we don't talk often, but I would consider her my friend. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, guess what? You were the first person I had to tell. I just had to tell you that I just went to the doctor and I had the greatest checkup." And she proceeded to send me this long text about her BMI dropping and losing all this weight and how she never thought she could do it. And she's so excited about it. And now she just needs to firm up. And it made me feel so privileged, really and truly privileged and grateful that I was the first person, even though we don't talk daily or anything, that she wanted to tell that to. That was a clue yesterday that I was on the right track. And then also, I was out yesterday and I introduced myself to someone. I said, "Hi, my name's Dawn," and she told me her name, and she says, "I thought that was you." And I said, What do you mean?" She's like, "You do that live that those live videos on Facebook." And I said, "Yeah, the real life with Don the Fever." And she said, "Yeah, I watch it. I watch it a lot." And I said, "What? Now I've never met I'd never met this girl. She wasn't a former Weight Watcher member of mine. She wasn't a former CrossFit friend of mine. She wasn't a former kid, one of my kids' friends or somebody I knew from school. She wasn't as far as I know, I truly didn't have a connection with her other than this." And I said, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, if you don't mind my asking, how did you find out about it and how did you start watching?" And she says, "Well, somebody I know shared it." And I said, "Oh, I'll look at it." And I listened to you and I thought, wow, or she's really relatable. Well, I have to say, I'm pretty real, but and it was a clue. It was just another piece of the puzzle that, yeah, maybe I'm doing the right thing. So, that being said, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Please continue to do so. Even if you don't do those things, thank you. I couldn't have been happier. That made my night. And so anyway, I've been struggling lately to come up with like inspiration and topics that I want to really talk about and things that are speaking to me that I want to bring to you. And I was having that trouble today, and that's not why I'm on kind of late. It's just because I was working out and it just took forever. Took forever today because the dog wanted to go in and out, and then the carbon monoxide alarm was beeping, and then I thought it was a fire alarm, and I couldn't figure it. Just my workout took me like over 2 hours today. It was crazy. But um, I was struggling to figure out what I wanted to talk about. And after I did all this working out, I was starving. I was so hungry, and I haven't done very much food prep lately. I did like one big thing last Friday, and it is now the next Friday, and I still have that food in my fridge, and that's what I've been eating off of. And so I thought it's probably time to cook something else. But I had nothing prepared to eat. And so do you know what I ate for breakfast? Two bowls of Rice Krispies with raisins. two, I mean, not even just one, two bowls, because I had Rice Krispies left over from some cookies that I made for Christmas, and it was the quickest thing that could happen. I had gotten too hungry and I wasn't prepared. And so I thought, you know what, Dawn, you shouldn't be eating this. This is not something, this is not a good choice. This isn't what you should be eating. And boom, there was my inspiration. What should you eat? Okay, so if I shouldn't be eating that, what should I be eating? And that is, I expanded a little bit and made the question, what should you eat to lose weight? Because a lot of people, that's the question I get is, I want to lose weight. What should I eat? Or what should I eat in order to lose this weight? I need you to drop the second part of that question. I need you to end the question with, what should I eat? That's your question, not what should I eat to lose weight, because they are not separate from each other. What you should eat to lose weight should also be what you eat to maintain your weight. And so you have to kind of get that in your head from the beginning. I have to do this right from the beginning, so that I don't have to learn something twice. I don't have to learn what to eat in order to lose weight, and then learn what to eat in order to keep it off, or what I should have been eating all along. And so I'm begging you, this is me like on my knees begging you, please start when you are trying to lose weight. Please start by eating the right things right out of the gate. So it sounds complicated, right? Because you just want something, just tell me what to eat, tell me what to do, and I'll do it. First of all, that's a lie, because you know what to do. I don't need to tell you, but even if I do, you're going to do it for a little while and then you're not going to do it anymore. And so that question, what should I eat? It is not the ultimate question. I don't even know what the ultimate question is. I didn't really plan on getting into the philosophy of it, but the ultimate question is, what should I do in order to live a fulfilling life and be satisfied with myself, my body, how I look, and how I feel? I mean, that's the big ticket right there. But let's bring it back and talk about what you should eat. It's not complicated. It's simple. Okay, it's simple. I'm going to start first with what you shouldn't be eating, though. Okay, so if you can buy into this philosophy, or the belief that you need to eat in order, you have to eat. What you should eat to lose weight should be the same as what you eat to keep it off. Then what you shouldn't eat is, any of these fad things. You shouldn't just eat bars and shakes all day long so that you can lose weight. Yes, you will lose weight. Yeah, you can eat that to lose weight. I'm not saying you should eat that to lose weight. I'm saying absolutely, if all you eat all day is protein bars or meal replacement bars and shakes, then yes, you will lose weight. I'm also going to say, no, you will not keep it off, period. So you're going to lose it. You're going to go through all that struggle and deprivation and that horrible feeling of being on a diet, and it's not going to last. So please just stop doing it. Please stop doing it. So not just bars, don't do any deprivation diets like these 500 calorie diets or these cabbage soup diets, or I'm going to just eat fruits and vegetables, or I'm just going to eat fat, or I'm never going to eat carbs again. Don't cut out whole food groups. I don't think that's necessary unless you have an allergy or autoimmune disease or something like that. Okay. And if for some reason it's not good for you, Heather, why are you laughing? What does that even mean? What does that mean? Please explain yourself. But so you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't just do any of this fad thing. You shouldn't do just something. You shouldn't do anything for just a short period of time until your weight is off. You have to do it forever. Okay, so you might as well just learn how to eat and be satisfied with what you're eating and how you're living right now. It's just going to be easier. Okay, so I have done a lot of different food plans. Okay, I've done a lot of different food plans. A lot of them were on Weight Watchers, and so Weight Watchers every year they would either adapt their plan or grow their plan, or I was there for so long, I think I was there for 20 years or so, that they changed it altogether sometimes. So I was on the selection plan where you had to mark off different breads and fruits and vegetables and milks and whatever. I was on the fat and fiber plan where you had to eat so much fat and so much fiber every single day. I was on, they did points, and then they did points plus, and then there was the core plan, and then there was probably, I don't know what the plan is right now, but I'm sure it's something different. And I'll tell you what, every single one of them worked. Every single one of them worked. Every single one. I've done, but I guess I had to be able to continue to do that forever. And I'm going to come back in a minute to what you're eating and how you feel. That's going to be a big clue as to what you should be eating. Okay. So I've done all different kinds of plans like that. Now, I've also done paleo. I want to see what she says. Hang on. Protein shakes are life. Okay. I didn't say you couldn't have a protein shake. That's not what I said. I'm just saying don't eat them or don't drink them exclusively in order to lose weight and eat nothing else all day. That's all I'm saying, lady. So, where was I? Oh, I've done paleo. I've done keto. I've done where I count my calories and count my macronutrients and keep a very strict eye on that. And then just in a like almost to the extreme of that kind of eating, which if that is something that you can continue after you've gotten to your goal, that's how I was eating in that picture where I'm all ripped. I think that was probably what worked best for my body was that kind of eating, calculating how many calories I needed a day and how much all the working out, how many calories I needed to fuel that, the exact kind of fuel I needed, the exact percentage breakdown for the fuel I needed in order to support that lifestyle. But the reason that isn't ideal for me, and that's not what I should be doing all the time, is because I couldn't sustain it. And so that's why I don't eat that way a lot anymore. Now, I also don't eat a lot of the foods I used to eat when I was on Weight Watchers, even though I lost weight and got results from it, because they made me feel horrible. I mean, I was diagnosed with IBS, and I've been to the emergency rooms too many times that I could count for stomach issues that they never found an answer for. I can remember being out with, like on a date with my husband or out with a family, and we would have to cut things short. At a wedding, we'd have to cut our night short because I was just incapacitated because of the stomach pains that I had. And that was due to, I'll tell you exactly what it was due to, Diet Pepsi, and sugar-free yogurt and sugar-free frozen yogurt and fat-free cheese. It was due to all of the artificial sweeteners that I was eating and the fake food. So so I can't eat that way anymore because it doesn't make me feel good. It isn't something sustainable that I can live forever. So I can't go to that extreme eating all the artificial food that helps me lose weight. I don't want to even try to keep up that level of strictness of paying attention to every single bite that goes into my body. Even though it got me the best results I think ever, it just didn't make me feel like I was living life. And so those were the two extremes that I've been on. And I've decided that those really aren't for me on a regular basis in any way, shape, or form. So what I found works and what I'm kind of going to promote to you as to what you should eat. I found 40, 30, 30, 80, 20. What does that mean? 40, 30, 30, 80, 20. So let's talk about the first part, the 40, 30, 30. Okay, you need to get a certain amount of macronutrients, these big nutrients, and they are protein, carbohydrates, and fat. You need a certain amount of that. Okay. For me, what I found works best, and then what we at the gym taught for the longest time was 40, 30, 30. Now, 40% carbohydrates, 30% protein, and 30% fat. I found for me, it works better to be 40% protein because I work out a lot and I want to build muscle. So 40% of what I eat, 40% of the calories I eat in the day come from protein. This is when I feel best. This is when I get the best body and the best mind and the happiest, the most satisfaction with what I'm eating. So 40% comes from protein, which Heather, some of that comes from protein shakes. See, you can have it. 30% comes from carbohydrates in the forms of fruits, vegetables, rice, oatmeal, Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes. Not a huge eater of bread. Barring the event this morning of the Rice Krispies, I don't usually eat cereal or anything like that. No processed grains, more like whole grains, quinoa, farro. I love farro. Those are the kinds of things. Those are the places I get my carbohydrates from, and then 30% fat. So olive oil. I do use butter. Avocado, nut seeds, things like that. So 40, 30, 30, 80, 20. Now, that macronutrient breakdown of 40% protein, 30% carbohydrate, 30% fat, 80% of the time. That's where that 80 comes from. 80% of the time, that's how I eat, okay? No processed foods. Every food I eat can fit into a category pretty cleanly and easily 80% of the time. That's where the 80% comes from. The 20%, bring on that wine, bring on that pizza, bring on that cake at the birthday party, bring it on. Bring on the donut that Nolan will bring over. Yeah, having it. Bring on you go out to eat and oh my God, for heaven's sakes, if you want a jalapeno popper, where does that go into the 40, 30, 30? I don't know. It goes into the 20% category. So that is the way that I like to eat. 40% protein, 30% carbohydrate, 30% fat, 80% of the time, with 20% of the time, all that stuff, all that yummy stuff, all that stuff that I ate when I was fat and developed quite the affection for, and still brings me joy and happiness if done correctly, there's a 20%. So typically I don't eat any processed foods. Everything I eat, very, very few things I eat come from a box or a package. I used to do like a ton of, even taco seasoning mix. I don't even do that anymore. I just make my own because that has like cornstarch in it and things like that. Added sugar sometimes. I make my own salad dressing because all that stuff has added, natural flavor. I don't even know what that is. Added preservatives, added, salt, added sugar, all these, added, canola oil, things that I just don't want to put in my body. All right. So I don't do a lot of processed or boxed or packaged foods. I never do fast food unless you consider pizza fast food, then I'll do pizza sometimes. But no McDonald's, no Taco Bell, no Arby's, I just don't. And then, I don't do any fat-free foods anymore, no sugar-free foods. If you're going to eat, if you want a sweet, I get this question all the time, well, can I use Splenda? You can use whatever you want, but I would use maple syrup or honey. That's what I would use to sweeten something. That's natural. Your body knows what to do with that. Your body knows how to process that. Doesn't get all jacked up. It isn't man-made. Okay? You want to grow stevia in your garden and take the stevia leaf and, muddle it into your iced tea? Awesome. The stuff that they process that comes in the package or the liquid form at the store, I don't use that. So lean meats, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, nuts, seeds, healthy fats. That's what you should be eating. Okay. It's not hard, it's not complicated, and it's not a secret. Most of us just want that quick fix, though. We would just tell me exactly what to eat every single day. Okay, well, those things, exactly what to eat every single day. Well, give me a food list. Okay, I can give you the food list that lists all those things. You're not going to see on there what you're asking me to, you want to see on there, well, can I have, what about, cream in my coffee? Sure, that would go into the 20% category for me. Okay, but eat whole, clean foods that typically come from the ground, or had a mom. That's what you should be eating. Oh shoot, there was a thought that was in my head that I just that I just wanted to share with you, but I can't remember what it was. So good and bad foods. I don't classify things as good and bad foods either. Good or bad, what do you mean? Taste good? All right, well, that's candy. I guess that's good. Taste bad? To me, that's like Oh, cauliflower. I hate cauliflower. That's bad. Okay, good for you? Okay, well then that's the reverse. Candy is bad and cauliflower is good. So I don't really say, this food is good and this food is bad. The food has to have a few different qualities in order for me to make it a major part of my diet, something I eat a lot and often, and that has to go into the 80%, that goes into that 80% category. It has to have some nutritional value. It has to have some protein, it has to have some carbohydrate, it has to have some fat, it has to have one, two, or all of those. It has to be a clean food, grow from the ground, have a mother. Okay, so it has to fit. That is also a good food to me, something that I would choose to eat most often. Okay, it has to taste good to me. So cauliflower fits into those other two categories, but I don't like it. So I really just don't eat it. Salmon, it's great in terms of nutritional value, tons of protein, great, good fats in there, but I don't like it. It makes me gag, so I don't eat it. Okay, so it has to have some nutritional value. It has to be a clean food or grow from the ground or have a mother, and it has to taste good to me. And then lastly, it has to make me feel good after I eat it, not while I'm eating it. Those are two different things. Donuts make me feel good while I'm eating them. Anything I eat in an emotional state because I'm trying to mask some kind of pain or hurt, that makes me feel good while I'm eating it, but not after I eat it. So the food that I eat most often that goes into that 80% has to make me feel good after I eat it, physically and mentally. Okay, so a typical dinner around here, I grill a whole heck of a lot of chicken. I make a whole lot of broccoli and a lot of rice. I mean, it's so simple. It's so simple, and really, it's not boring if you make your own dressing. You put your spices on the chicken, and then that later can become a soup, or you can put it on a salad, or put it into a lettuce wrap or whatever. It's actually delicious. I love it. And guess what? There's protein, carbs, fat. It is a whole food or a clean food. It tastes good to me and I feel good after I eat it. So those are the four criteria for choosing a food, the foods that I eat most often. Now, what are the criteria for the 20% foods? Oh my gosh, it looks delicious and I love it. I want that wine at night. I do. Um, my mom asked me the other day, how did I raise children that like alcohol so much when your dad and I weren't drinkers? I'm like, you made it more attractive to us because you didn't drink, which is so not true. But I don't know. I love it. Okay. So that. But there is criteria for that 20% too. It has to be something I'm not going to overdo. It has to be something that once I have the bite or the taste or the bit, okay, that it's not going to send me into some kind of mental funk. All right. So I forgot that 80%, another criteria of that food, okay, that it also has to make me feel good mentally. It's not something that I am going to beat myself up afterwards eating. Chances are good if it grows from the ground and has a mother, it's going to check that box pretty easily. I'm sorry, but nobody eats, emotionally eats broccoli or bananas or apples. I mean, we just don't. So, the 20% again has some rules too. It cannot be a trigger food of mine. It can't be something that I historically overdo, and that is like a donut or a pastry or a brownie or something like that. I very rarely get into that stuff because when I do it, almost 100% of the time causes trouble. So I guess that's something that I just when I'm kind of weak, I give in and it causes me problems. And when I'm strong, I can have just a little bit and it won't cause me problems, but that's a pretty fine line. And I don't like to walk that tightrope very often because I usually fall off. And that's when I get into trouble. And so I choose because of that reason to stay away from it, not because I'm on a diet, not because my diet says I can't have it, but because I know I'm going to feel like crap afterwards. That's the reason I choose not to eat it. And it will usually just cause greater harm than good. And so this is a mentality that has developed over 26 years or so, but I am begging you to start from the beginning and do it today. I am begging you, clear the food, clear the processed foods out of your house, clear the diet foods out of your house, clear the artificial sweeteners out of your house, clear all these things that you think are going to be the key and the ticket to freedom out of your house, because it's not going to work this time, just like it didn't work last time, and it won't work next time either. Okay, so I think, what should you eat? 40, 30, 30, 80, 20, and answer these questions. Does it fit in? Does it have nutritional value? Does it fit into one of those macronutrient breakdown categories? Protein, carbohydrates, or fat? Is it a clean food? Did it have a mother or grow from the ground? Does it make me feel good after I eat it? And does it taste good to me? Okay, so that's what I think you should eat, and that's what works best for me. Please put me a comment. Send me a comment, send me your thoughts, because I'm curious to know what it is that you think you should eat. But I mean, if you hear nothing else, hear this today, please stop dieting. A diet isn't a verb. Okay, it's not something you do. Like running. Eventually, you're going to stop running. That's an action. You're going to stop doing it eventually. Even if you get up and do it again the next day, you're going to stop doing it eventually. Dieting is the same thing. You can do it for now, then you can't do it anymore, but you might pick it up again later. Okay, not dieting. This is not an action step we're taking. Diet is a noun. It's just our daily food intake. What we eat on a regular basis. That could be, McDonald's and Coke, or it could be chicken, rice, and broccoli. So those are my thoughts. Very few thoughts, quite frankly, on what I think you should eat. I could talk about this subject all day. As you can see, we've gone about 30 minutes now. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are on that and what you're eating. So drop me a comment. Let me know what you're eating, and I will see you soon. Peace.